Last year, you and your fiancée purchased a $4.2 million house on the Central Coast. It looked like a plan for retirement. It looked like you weren't thinking about staying in the job forever. It also could be argued it appears to run counter to the slogan that got you elected, no one left behind, because when a Prime Minister buys a $4.2 million house, hasn't he left most people behind?
Not at all, Andrew. Not every decision that I make as a human being is through a focus group, is about politics. Around about this time last year, on February 14, I proposed to Jodi. I've met someone I want to spend the rest of my life with. And what happens when people make that decision, if they're in a position to, they go and get a mortgage together, and it's mortgaged, and I sold another property, a property that I had, in order to assist with that, so that down the track, we can have somewhere close to where Jodi grew up, where Jodi's parents and family all are. And it wasn't a political decision, it was very much a personal one. But I think people as well would understand that the idea that Jodi and I, when this ends, and it will end, we won't be here in 20 years' time, we will not spend our later years in the same house where Carmel and I, my first wife, the mother of my son, our son, Nathan, where we raised Nathan and where we lived as a family. Like, that's what happens. Life is complex. People have real relationships that matter. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to have met Jodi, someone I want to spend the rest of my life with. And we, of course, have made this decision as well, importantly, to buy somewhere together for down the track.
There has been something about Australian politics since John Howard lost in 2007 that voters get sick of the PM after 2 to 3 years, or even less. Happened to all of them since. Now, you've been in office for close to 3 years. Are you concerned about this sort of vote them off the island scenario affecting you?
Well, it is true that the last time a Prime Minister won 2 elections in a row, served a term and was elected, was John Howard in 2004. So it's been more than 2 decades. I don't think that that has served Australia well. I think that both political parties are guilty of that, with changes without an election to the Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd, Julia Gillard. Tony Abbott didn't make it to 2 years after leading the Liberal Party to a substantial victory in 2013, and then of course Malcolm Turnbull. Now, I think that 3-year terms, as very short as it is, and my government has been stable, has been orderly, has been united, and it stands in contrast. Peter Dutton still has had these vacancies for Stuart Roberts' position for almost a year, Julian Leese's position. Now we've had no shadow foreign minister replacing Simon Birmingham or Paul Fletcher. He seems incapable of managing their internals because they seem to be at war with each other. My only fight that I want to have is for the Australian people, and my team is united in that. Yesterday, the announcement that we made that we now have 6 states and territories signed up to full funding as recommended by David Gonski 14 years ago is yet another significant step forward for the nation, and I look forward to the next term being in a position to continue with that unity. You're an observer of politics, Andrew. Every first-term government, whether it's John Howard's between 96 and 98 or Kevin Rudd's government or Tony Abbott's government, has seen ministers come and go and has seen conflict within. we have been the most united, focused team that Australia has seen, certainly this century, and I think that puts us in a good position going forward.
Prime Minister, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Andrew.